Salutations everyone, my name is Gwen and welcome to Eccentric's Hobby Closet. With Across the Spider-Verse now being in theaters, Spidersonas are back in fashion, which is excellent news. I remember Spidersonas back in 2018 when the first movie came out, and honestly it was my favorite Marvel movie, so I definitely had to get on the trend. I will, however, not be seeing the movie until it's out on streaming because going to the theaters gives me a migraine, and I don't know about you, but I prefer to avoid migraines. Anyway, this is a design that I've already had a few years to work on, so there's not really a lot of design for this portion. I decided way back that I wanted to do a steampunk universe instead of like a modern day sort of thing, because why not? I wanted to do something a little bit different because there can only be so many Gwens that are also drummers, so I decided to do like what if I was in a steampunk timeline or whatever. This Gwen is a tailor in the fictional city of Crow's Point. I could have done New York City, but I kind of like the idea of making up like a whole new steampunk city better, and then I don't have to try to do any sort of like parallels with real life locations and things like that. The civilian form, is pretty simple, pretty basic, pretty practical, and then I think the steampunk more comes out in the spider costuming. She has a little corset top. She has a utility belt. She has sort of like this lower face mask instead of like just like the full head covering. She has these tall spats and these leather gauntlets that have her web shooters and stuff, and a cape. I saw some spider-sonas with capes, and I don't know. I like capes and I like hoods. Hoods are fun. I didn't really go deep into digging into like what her powers were going to be, but one of the things I did decide was that once when she was bitten by the spider, that her eye colors would change, and then she would have to wear these tinted glasses or whatever. Which in actuality probably would not hide like the change very well. But listen, just suspension of belief. I like doing all the little spider patterns and stuff on the Spidersona costume. And this, like I said, this is one that I've been working on for a while, so I've had some time to perfect it, and I like it a lot. I also wanted to do like a comic book cover. I kind of bounced around with a few different ideas of like doing like a really like swooshy, very action packed pose or whatever, but I kind of wanted to do something with a little bit more personality. And one of the things that has always been part of my design is that she's always had a teacup holster. I don't know why, it's just something that I really wanted to do. So I wanted to draw her like drinking a cup of tea on top of the building, with her lower mask off. That's part of why I have the mask designed the way it is, so that way she could take the mask off and she could have a little cup of tea while she's taking a break. The Clip Studio's 3D modeling tools really helped with this to kind of figure out the perspective of the pose and the building and things like that. I had to do a little bit of digging around and research to figure out what I wanted my background to look like, to kind of sell like the steampunk sort of thing, like pipes. The windows go away on the building she's sitting on at some point. I had a lot of fun drawing this dirigible. I don't know. It was a good time. Lady Spider's color scheme is nothing really crazy. I think I based it off of a jumping spider. I mean, I don't know. I really wanted to stick with like black, and then purple I think was just like a good color to kind of bounce off of that. And I didn't want to do like stereotypical steampunk because there's some things with steampunk designs that I don't necessarily care for, like the weird usage of like gears and things like that. You see me messing around. I downloaded some materials from Clip Studio for bricks and stuff because I didn't want to actually draw bricks. Then I mess around with like the lighting and stuff to try to get the shading right and to make it real dramatic. I think I accomplished what I was looking for. I think I wanted it to be sort of lower lit and then have some fog or smog or whatever floating up and the light bouncing off of it and then seeing like the sky above it. And then I have this steampunk letter font that I downloaded like forever ago, and then, yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. I've never really designed a comic book cover, but I think it's decent. I did look. It's not necessarily as exciting as a lot of the comic book covers that you actually see, but I think it works. And this is my amazing lady spider. Even though I've been working on this for a few years now, it's still hard because there's so many really good Spidersonas out there, with lots of like really cool designs and silhouettes and color palettes. Like, just there's just so many. If you haven't gone through the Spidersona tag, I recommend it because it is a treat. I definitely recommend that if you want to like, especially if you like have a hard time with poses and things like that, or if you want to draw more action poses, design a Spidersona and do them in lots of flying poses. I didn't draw any here, but I do have a sketchbook where I have a few pages of little actiony poses and things like that. Maybe I could render those out at some point. Would you read a comic about this spider person? Let me know in the comments below. It's definitely not going to be a comic you will actually read, but it's nice to know if you would. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Check out some of my other videos. Right now, I mostly do drawing videos, but I have plans. Now that it is summertime, I have plans for various projects that I hope will get done, but we will see, because I have been promising that for a long time. And as always, until next time, please take care of yourselves and do the things that you love to do the most. Bye-bye!